Hi. All right, guys. Good afternoon. Yeah, sorry. I know we said we were going to start at 3:30. Jay's running a little bit late, so I wanted to come in and have a chat with you guys first and talk about some other stories that are not going to be on this show a little bit later. So first things first, hello. We're streaming on two different platforms right now. I've got TikTok going on over here. Hi, one person that's joined so far. We just went live. And YouTube going on over here. So hello, Kazna. Hello, Otto. Hello, Manu. Coming in, checking in from Nairobi. Wonderful. We will be talking about some news coming out of your country a little bit later on, which is pretty shocking stuff. Tale of a horror story followed by severe incompetence by government officials over there. So, yeah, I guess we'll see how that plays out. 1 second, let me get my live going for TikTok as well, so I can see what people are commenting in over there. Hi, Diamond. Thank you for coming. Good stuff. Yeah. So this is what we call our Worldwide Wednesdays. Hi, Sean. Thank you for coming through. Yeah, it's going. We're getting there. So we're starting a new show. We're going to be doing this every Wednesday at around this time. We're calling it Worldwide Wednesday. So we're trying to broaden the scope of the kinds of stories that we're going to be covering here at least once a week. I know, obviously, Thaiger, people are used to hearing mostly what's going on in the Land of Smiles. But we've also recently expanded by acquiring ASEAN Now, which is, we're broadening the focus to the greater ASEAN region. But I figured, why not? We have plenty of expat audience that are interested in the stories that are coming from their neck of the woods as well. So today, I'll give you a little preview of what we're going into. We're going to be talking about the politics that are happening over in America. Donald Trump has been making some interesting social media appearances, and the Democratic National Convention is going strong over there. Two, we will go to Kenya, where we will be talking about a very serious, serial killer, it seems, who is on the loose over there. That's going to be a really tough tale to get through. And yeah, not only that, we'll be talking about Mpox as well, and a really tragic story that is coming out off the coast of Sicily, where we have seen a mega yacht be sunk, and there is a rescue mission that is ongoing as we speak. Hopefully, we'll be able to see more people. All right, Kasna says, sounds like a fun night on the way. Yes, that was something we were talking about as well. The Thaiger is having a big old office party tonight. Many of our staff have already called in their vacation days in order to make sure that they can get the most out of tonight and suffer their hangover in peace tomorrow without having to call in sick. So, yeah, shout out to Hot, who made that wonderful thumbnail. Where Jay and I are getting beamed up. All right. Well, I don't know if I should I just get started? Feel weird. Jay will come in. I'm not entirely sure. He'll come in a little bit later. So sending an email. All right. The COO has important things to do. All right. Well, TikTok, please. You guys can let me know your comments as you see these stories. You will be, unfortunately, TikTok, you will be missing out on the footage that is coming with these stories because we're set up for YouTube to make sure that people can see. Are we doing picture-in-picture time? Nope. Full story, so we'll just go full screening it. Yeah, so if you do want to check out the full show, that's happening over on YouTube. I know some of you are on the go, mobile, messing around at the office at this time of day. But yeah, this will also be available on our live stream section after the fact on the Thaiger channel on YouTube. So do check it out. All right. Well, is everybody ready? All right. Without further ado, yeah, we'll be joined by Jay in just a little bit, where we can get some discussion going. But please, guys, in the comments section, I see about 26 of you in right now. Hopefully, we can get that number up as the show progresses. But let me know what you think about these stories, because there's a lot of tough ones today. Unfortunately, last week I had a lot of fun ones. Today we're going to be a little more serious. So yeah, let's get to it. Recording. All right, everybody, let's do it. Welcome to the Thaiger's Worldwide Wednesdays, your midweek destination for staying informed on the latest global news, from the hottest political debates and thrilling sports events to cutting-edge tech trends and the latest in entertainment and culture. We've got it all covered. Join us as we dive into the stories shaping our world, bringing you insights and updates that matter right here at the Thaiger. Now, okay, we're going to start with our very first story, which is a strange one coming out of Japan. Scissors, of all things, not rock or paper, have caused airport chaos in Sapporo. 36 flights were canceled and 201 delayed at Hokkaido's new Chitose airport after scissors went missing from a store near the boarding gates. Security checks were suspended for 2 hours, causing significant delays as passengers had to retake security checks. The missing scissors were found the next day. Someone's getting fired, leading to the resumption of normal operations. Authorities have called for an investigation to prevent future occurrences. This is a particularly tough one because that flight path from Hokkaido to Japan is the second most traveled flight path in terms of domestic flights around the world. So it's a massive disruption, and I imagine millions of dollars in damage has been done due to some low-level employees' incompetence, I guess we could say. Also very strange how, that's how serious security is taken in airports these days because, for the love of God, scissors, I guess, it was box cutters back in the old 9/11 days, can be done. A hijacking can be done with anything if someone's crazy enough or brave enough to do so. At the end of the day, they found it in the same store. What is your theory? Here's mine. I'll give you my take. Now, I believe that somebody realized that they had misplaced it and just sort of put it back. It was like one of those things that was missing and eventually found exactly where it was supposed to be. Seems a little fishy, but at the same time, I guess I'm just glad that everybody ended up okay. What should the punishments be? You guys let me know. All right, hello, TikTok. Thank you guys for joining in. Thank you, Yurapon. What's up, Tiger? Really? Yes, we're trying something new. So thank you for joining us over there. All right, guys. Now, moving on to our next story. This one is a bit of a health scare that's going on around the world. Now, the WHO has declared an Mpox outbreak as a global emergency. That's right, the World Health Organization has declared a public health emergency over a new outbreak of Mpox, formerly known as monkeypox, in several African nations. The Democratic Republic of Congo is the most affected, with over 17,000 cases and already 571 deaths reported this year. A new strain, Clade 1, is spreading primarily through sexual networks and has been identified in countries like Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, and Uganda. Now, health ministers across the Western world are on alert for potential cases following the WHO's declaration, with cases breaking out in America and the UK so far. Scary stuff. All right. This is no joke, Mpox. I'm sorry to be showing you guys the footage of what that looks like and how that can take form. But it's not just a cosmetic thing. This is serious consequences where people are dying. Now, obviously, the main way that this is spreading is through sexual contact. And it's especially dangerous if you were engaging in any sort of procurement, let's say, because, yes, it is disproportionately affecting sex workers and people in the LGBTQ community. So do take extra precautions if you are a promiscuous person, I guess we could say, and take care of yourselves out there because this thing is no joke. New STD has dropped, everybody, and it is hot. Be careful. Mick Elbox disagrees with me. BS. No, not scary. Fair enough. I don't know. Doesn't look like a fun time to me. I'm not a fearmonger. I don't really like to do that, but it is fair warning out there. It's not spreading. It's not airborne or anything like that. So if you're being safe, you should be safe. But already tens of thousands of cases declared in Africa, and the spread is happening faster than anybody would like to see. Tough. Yes. Yeah. Well, I got to say, Mick Elbox, this is being reported by several different organizations, including the BBC, news organizations like CNN out of America. So we're not doing the verifying ourselves. This is happening from major news organizations from around the world that are typically trusted and do their own verification. So we do source from other news sources. We don't do direct reporting ourselves. We just want to let our audience know what's going on in the world, and that is something that I've seen. If you have conflicting information, feel free to share it in the comments section, and people can debate with you down there. All right. Should I just move to the center? I think I'm just going to be by myself today. I don't know what's happening. Nah. Thank you for leaving me hanging. Huh? I'm just moving to the center, everybody. Welcome to the live show. All right. But that is not the only story that's coming out of Africa today. We're heading over to Kenya next. Let my man get back. Oh, moving a little more. Cool. Okay. Now, anyways, more shocking news coming out of Kenya. Oh, let me see the TikTok comments over here. Udapan says, I have a question. What time will I have good news for politics in Thailand? Your question is very valid. Now, I'll tell you that the world has been calling and congratulating the new Prime Minister of Thailand, Paetongtarn Shinawatra. However, mixed reviews from Thai people who are thinking, hey, we have another Shinawatra in office. We need to do something about these political dynasties, especially because, people like Pita in the Move Forward Party, the now dissolved Move Forward Party, received so many votes on that side. So, yeah, you let me know. What do you think about what's going on in Thai politics? Timur, just landed in Thailand. Where can I get Boom Boom from? Look, I'm not going to tell you where you can go. I think you can find out for yourself. Nana. Anyways, moving on to our next story, which is serious. So I'm going to get back into my serious mode. No, hey, Mpox, not a journalist. I am a commentator, but, I did study politics and economics. I have a big background in these things, and now I've been at this for a while. I would argue that I'm as qualified as many of the talking heads that you see in Western news channels. So, anyways, let's move on. Now, our next story is over to Kenya, where we are dealing with a serial killer. That's right, a killer dubbed the Vampire has escaped custody on the loose. A Kenyan serial killer, Collins Jumasi, has been dubbed a vampire and is suspected of murdering 42 women and escaped from Nairobi's Jigiri police station with over 12 other detainees, allegedly with the help from 8 officers. So, help on the inside. The breakout occurred after Kalusha was ordered to remain in custody for another week while investigations continued. The officers involved are now facing disciplinary action, and an investigation into the escape is ongoing. What? This is something where the allegations, right, are that he's murdered 42 women. And, of course, there was an escape orchestrated with several of the members of the police within that detention center. What money was changed? What incentives were there for them? Who knows? But hopefully the book will be thrown at them. It's really highlighting a level of incompetence because this man is a clear and present danger if these allegations are true to anybody that he comes across, particularly women. So an absolutely terrible and disgusting story. Not the only guy that managed to escape, too. 12 others with him as well. The authorities will have some explaining to do down there. Manu, I'd be curious to know your thoughts on this because this is your home territory, man. I'm really not too familiar with Kenyan politics, but what kind of reverberations this will have with the authorities over there that are in charge of this. It's a big old scandal, man. And trust me, I think people will be better safe inside avoiding the vampire and his, whatever his proclivities are, certainly you don't want to be any part of them. That's for sure. Udipan says, that is very, very bad news. Yes, it is indeed. I don't know if I agree with the emojis you included afterwards, but terrifying stuff coming out of Kenya. Okay, not the only harrowing tale that I have for you today. Now we are off to Europe. Now, there is a search for survivors after a yacht has sunk in a waterspout. Now, rescue teams have entered the hull of the sunken superyacht Bayesian by breaking through a glass window, but have yet to reach the cabins where 6 missing individuals, including billionaire Mike Lynch and his daughter, might be trapped. The next 24 hours are deemed to be critical, as survivors could be in an air pocket, giving rescuers a limited window to save them. The yacht sank during a severe storm, leaving 1 confirmed dead, while 15 others have so far been rescued. This is an interesting story. Mike Lynch was on his mega yacht. He's a billionaire, celebrating with his legal team after beating a fraud charge in America. So his legal team, a crack legal team, were able to get him off of those charges. Now, you know, billionaires, they have a way of escaping justice and paying their way out of problems. But at the end of the day, this is certainly no way to go. We have seen interesting tales where people have been able to survive in air pockets for up to days even. But rescue teams are working tirelessly on that now. Might have an update for you in the coming days, but certainly that's a story to keep your eyes on as rescuers are making their way down there and hopefully being able to save some more lives. 1 dead so far, 15 others rescued. Terrible thing, man. You got to be able to know. My own. I have family that works on yachts. Blue collar. They're not the ones owning it. They're the ones working them. But understanding the weather, understanding the waters that you're going into is absolutely pivotal. Seems like there was some miscalculation, maybe some criminal negligence involved on the part of the captain. We'll see as this story develops, though. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Retro Guy Markey live at this time. We're only doing this on Wednesdays, Worldwide Wednesdays, just at 3:30. We're going to be cutting these into clips and trying to see what kind of, is our audience interested in hearing some of these tales from around the world. For me, I find it very interesting. Hopefully you guys do too. Okay, cool. Meng Wei, hey, thank you for joining us. All right. So, Mr. G, just got back from Tunisia. Good to see you, man. Like, I haven't been going live on TikTok lately. Thank you for joining me. I'll be here live every Wednesday now, so you can always join in. Any news out of Tunisia? I'd be curious to know as well. Rowan says, I love the Let Yut news of your channel. Yep, Let Yut, popular around town. I don't think I can translate that without getting in trouble with the algorithms. But yeah, it's taking off. I think it's already at 15,000 followers, like 6 days, something like that, on a tear. How are my numbers? Yeah, that's about right. So thank you for joining. Now, Udapan says, what do you think about Thailand have a coup d'etat by court? I mean, didn't it already happen? Like, this is, there's been a line, a facade of democracy here. People are voting, but the will of the people hasn't really been translated into the consolidation of power that we've seen. And of course, the Constitutional Court has strong ties to the legacy leadership of Thailand with the Shinawatras. Thaksin Shinawatra recently receiving a royal pardon as well for the crimes he supposedly committed. So it does seem like there's a consolidation of power at the top, particularly with familiar names like Shinawatra. But anyway, save that for the morning news, all right? We'll actually, maybe we'll start streaming our morning news on TikTok as well, so you guys can get on that too. Mr. G asks how Zombie, she's out on a shoot right now. Otherwise, she'd be joining me too, but she's doing good. Go check out the new channel she's doing, Thailand Let Yut News, which is, more funny stuff. That's it. Okay, moving on to our next story. We're heading over to American politics. Now, Trump has been making the rounds on some interesting social media platforms. He's been doing stuff with influencers based on the recommendations of his son, his youngest son, Barron Trump, who is a big fan of some of these podcasters. Now, just today, Trump has been discussing family, drugs, and policy on Theo Von's podcast. One of my favorites. Now, during his appearance on Theo Von's This Past Weekend podcast, Donald Trump showcased a more personal side, discussing his family, the opioid crisis, and his policy views. He reflected on his late brother, Fred's influence, and warned against the dangers of addiction. The conversation also covered healthcare, with Trump advocating for transparency and critiquing lobbyist influence in Washington. I think that's something we can all agree on. This podcast appearance is part of Trump's strategy to connect with a younger male audiences through unconventional media. I don't think Trump has any problems in getting the male vote. Right now, the polls are looking very close, almost dead even for Kamala Harris and Trump in terms of the male vote. I think he's only ahead a few points, 2 or 3 points, when typically he would be ahead maybe 7 or 8 points. So that could serve as an explanation for this different kind of media blitz that he's getting into, attacking. What was the other? There was some other little influencer that he was on who, man, it was. I watched a clip of that guy. I can't remember his name. If anybody can look him up for me, Tan. We'll figure it out. But some influencer couldn't even pronounce fascism. He called it fascism and didn't even know what its mentioning was. So Donald Trump is trying to appeal to a demographic that doesn't really understand politics at all. But with Theo Von, that's a different story. Theo Von is an amazing interviewer and able to create a more human side to them. Not the only interesting politician he's had on this week, he's also had Bernie Sanders. So that is quite the run on the political spectrum for Theo Von. Certainly, I'm assuming Theo Von never thought he would have such high-profile, guests on his show. So kudos to him, showing what kind of dreams can come true when you're just out there making your content, being yourself. That is one of the key aspects of Theo Von, is that he is never trying to be anything but himself, and proving the success that his platform had and still has, bringing in the highest profile guests that you can possibly get. I mean, Trump's one of the most famous people in the world, not to mention Bernie Sanders on the complete opposite side of the political spectrum. Excellent stuff. It's showing the shifting political landscape, or the media landscape, I should say. These longer form conversations are doing a lot more to humanize politicians than the sound bites and the clips that, many biased media sources are bringing into the table, just trying to catch people in gotcha moments. So good on him for doing that. Keep it up, Theo. All right, Mandalik, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. What's going on the TikTok side of things? Whoa, hold on. Got a lot of comments over there. Somebody's saying, it's Grandpa Trump over there. That's the funny thing that's shifted in this this year's presidential race. It used to be 2 old guys duking it out. Now it's 1 old guy. So that's created a major shift in the marketing and branding strategy on the Republican side. To me, it seems like they still haven't really figured it out. The one attack that I keep seeing my, very Republican uncles message me about is like, can she talk without cackling? Attacking a laugh is not really a winning strategy, I don't really think. But it seems like they're still trying to figure it out, because they had Joe Biden figured out. They knew what to do with him to make him seem like he was unable, too old for the office. But now that they've been, to me, this is a brilliant strategy move by the Democrats, because they built all of that, right? Like, he's senile, he's too old for the office. They've been hammering that away all year. And now with the old switcheroo, Kamala in there, all of those attack points seem to apply much more to Trump himself. So whoever the political strategists were on the Democrat side of things, probably going to be getting a raise, because they seem to be the ones with all the momentum now in the American political scene at the moment, especially with the DNC going on right now. Yes, indeed, he is the old one now, says Mr. G. And Trump will always be the master of weird. Exactly, weird being the other very effective branding strategy. Very interesting to see them shift from the doomsday messaging when Biden was around. Hey, if you vote for Trump, it's the end of democracy, blah, 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 blah. Didn't really connect with voters. This weird thing seems to be having a lot more traction. Which brings me to my next story, where we're going to switch and talk about the other side of things over at the DNC. Now, Barack Obama is endorsing Kamala Harris, surprise, surprise, at the DNC. So at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, former President Barack Obama endorsed Kamala Harris for president, praising her as a leader who embodies unity and progress. Obama criticized Donald Trump's presidency, calling for voters to choose a better future by electing Harris. He also lauded Tim Walz as an ideal vice presidential partner for Harris. Obama emphasized the importance of this election, acknowledging it will be a close race and urging Americans to fight for their values. He reflected on his own presidency, highlighting Joe Biden's legacy as a leader who defended democracy. Udepan asks, what is the DNC? The DNC is the Democratic National Convention, which will be held, or is being held currently in Chicago. So this is where all of the, it's like a big rally held in a stadium. All of the who's who, the what's of the Democratic Party show up to give speeches. On day one, it was Joe Biden coming through, passing the torch. Today was the Obamas. Michelle took the stage first, followed by one of the great orators of our time, Barack Obama. I don't think you can argue that there's a more eloquent politician that we've had in recent memory. So that obviously is going to attract a lot of attention. And he was also getting in on the weirdness as well, talking about Trump's obsessions with crowd sizes. He did the hand motion thing. It's a funny strategy, but you got to bring out the rock stars, right? If you're running this kind of campaign, you're going to need all of the support you can get. This does contrast sharply. They have, also a who's of celebrities over there. That's something interesting as well, because Donald Trump recently posted an AI-generated picture of Taylor Swift endorsing him, which, of course, was not real. That wasn't a real thing. So she's since come out and said, wait, hey, I haven't endorsed anybody yet. And she has endorsed his opponents in the past, too. So I don't know if that's actually going to happen. But yes, Udapan, that is your explanation for that one as well. Timothy Mitchell says, Vegas odds still have Trump as favorites to win, 4 out of 5 versus 11 out of 10. Yes, Trump haters are emotional wrecks, says Eli Brown. We'll see. I mean, yeah, Vegas odds. Dude, I watch UFC every week. They don't get it right all the time. But at the same time, I think you can see a lot more, the Democrats are certainly a lot more fired up with Kamala as the head of the ticket than Joe Biden. We'll see. We'll see. There's still a whole lot of campaigning left to go. To me, I also really like the fact that this switcheroo has basically just been the start of Kamala's campaign. I think in the U.S., our campaign seasons last way too long. So we're always just looking at that from that perspective, like, oh my God, we get sick of it. I don't know who doesn't get sick of that. And I'm speaking as somebody who reads the news every day and has studied politics my whole life. So yeah, it gets downright tiring. Other countries like Australia, UK, other democracies around the world, they limit the amount of time to about like 3 months or something like that. Would love to see something like that take place in America too. Timothy agrees with me 100%. All right. Now, what about the Thai protesters against the whatchamacallit? Sorry, I'm not going to talk about that. There's one rule in here. Don't violate Section 112. I'm not going to do that. Nice try, Emilio. But rules are rules here, and I like breathing free air. Yep, cool. Now, moving on to our last story, something that I am obsessed with, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts about this one as well. We are talking aliens, people. Now, a Pentagon insider has revealed U.S. UFO secrets. Imminent inside the Pentagon's hunt for UFOs, Luis Elizondo, or Lou, a former Defense Department insider, provides a detailed account of the U.S. military's knowledge of UFOs. Elizondo reveals that efforts to understand these unidentified visitors have often been blocked by higher-ups in the Department of Defense who are reluctant to present an issue they cannot explain or solve. He argues that these visitors pose a significant national security threat, yet the government remains hesitant to disclose all that it knows. Despite recent releases of UFO information, Elizondo doubts the full truth will ever be revealed, particularly regarding recovered non-human remains. What? Aliens, bro. Like, I mean, for the longest time, I was not a believer. I thought this was like the propaganda machine was strong. There's been a lot of evidence of the military coming out and running disinformation campaigns, also shame campaigns. Anybody who did see something was sort of shamed into being like, "What? You're crazy. You're insane. Aliens." But now, as more and more evidence is presented by, career naval pilots, multiple naval pilots, multiple higher-ups in the military, people with a long-standing history of being on the inside. They're coming out, telling their stories, and now all bets are off. Hi, Jay. Yes, you did. It's all good. We were scheduled, so we had to go. Yes, anyways, what do you guys think? Are we alone here? What is the government hiding? And do you think we could ever expect to get any answers? I'd be curious to know your thoughts. So let me check the TikTok, see if we got anything. Yep, nope, okay, I don't know. But we're going to cut this clip and put that into our TikTok because the first time I ever went super viral was when I was talking about aliens. So I want to bring that back. Anyways, guys, thank you, everybody, so much for joining us today. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll be doing this show every Wednesday, so mark your calendars, 3:30 p.m., just about a half-hour show, not going to take up too much of your time. And if you did miss it, please do. You can always check it on our live section of our YouTube channel, and we'll be posting clips as well to our Instagram, TikTok, and the like. Please, also, don't forget to join us every day on the Thaiger YouTube channel, 9:30 a.m. That's when we do GMT, Good Morning Thailand, where you can stay up to date on all of the things Thailand, as well as the greater ASEAN region for our regular show. All right, Eli Brown says, great show. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much for joining us. And everybody else on TikTok, thank you. Oh, sorry. I think I froze over here. You sell you to the data. Oh, sorry, guys. Thank you, TikTok, for joining as well. We'll probably get you guys in for our morning shows, too, so you can stay abreast of all things that is happening here in the Land of Smiles. Everybody, mwah, have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll see you next week.